Hi everybody, I'm Scott, and today we're gonna discover how to set up a cloud PC to play with ComfyUI when your computer doesn't allow you to have a powerful GPU or when you don't have enough money to invest in. So if you like what you see today, please subscribe and click the like button. Let's get started.
Summer breeze, summer vibe, summer is here.
For this video, I made a little scenario to explain you what we're gonna see today. So we're gonna talk about the Shadow PC, which is the remote PC provider that I use to execute Comfy, and then we're gonna connect to the Shadow PC. Once we are connected, we'll talk very quickly about what's my setup to execute ComfyUI, which includes VSCode, um, ComfyUI, obviously, and Microsoft OneDrive for synchronization between my local PC, my laptop, and the Shadow PC. Now we're going to talk about Shadow PC itself.
Summer breeze.
When I started to play with ComfyUI, I discovered that I require an NVIDIA GPU to be able to generate proper image. However, I'm having a laptop with poor power capacity to execute ComfyUI, and running ComfyUI on CPU only is kind of difficult and it sucks a bit. Especially now we have the Flux model, which require quite a lot of power to generate images. So I did a bit of benchmark look around, and I actually went for Shadow PC. Shadow PC is a French company owned by Octave Clava, which is the owner of OVH. If you don't know OVH, it's one major or the major hosting provider in Europe. They provide a nice offer when you don't have enough money to invest in a GPU, which is by as far as I can say, about 1,500 euros minimum. In this case, if you go to shadow.tech, you will be able to access under the 4 Pro offer the different cloud PC that they have. And one of them offer you an NVIDIA Quadro RTX 6000 or similar GPU, which is a powerful GPU for what you want. And the cost of it is 75 euros, tax included, for French people at least. I'm not sure for foreign countries if you have taxes to pay for. Anyway, you need to subscribe. So when you go on shadow.tech website, you can pick that offer, add it to your carts. You will need to create an account for sure. You can select the data center. Right now, mine will be French because I live in France. But you can pick a US one if you live in USA or Canada as well, and you do have a German one if these servers are closer to you. Once you have created an account and subscribe to the offer, there we go. So I already have mine, so I won't go through the payment process. I will go back to my Shadow account basically and show you how it looks like. There we go. So I'm in a French language on my computer. But on the left side, you will find under Shadow PC all my PCs. I have only one PC, which is actually active, even if the software, the admin console is not active on my PC. Anyway, so you can find the Shadow PC Pro Expert in your account this way. This will require you to install the software on your computer to be able to access the Shadow PC. So the software can be downloaded from the link on the left menu at the bottom. You got download, which is telecharge in French. It will redirect to the download website. You can pick the OS you have. In my case, I'm under Windows, So I'll pick Windows. I will go for the official app. There's a new beta app here, but I've tried it today and it wasn't working for me. I guess it will be a bit better in a couple of weeks or something like that. For now, I'm gonna stick to the official app. I downloaded it already and installed already since I'm using it for a couple of months now, more than a couple of months. Once this is installed, you will get in your computer and access to Shadow PC. I've pinned it in my navbar at the bottom in my computer because I use it like every day. Um, so when you click on it, once everything is installed, it's gonna launch the Shadow PC for you. So as long as your internet connection is good, you will have a remote PC experience as if it was your real computer. And keep in mind, this is only 75 euros per month. You can sub it at any months. So instead of spending 1,500 euros straight away to buy a proper card like the 4090 from Nvidia, which is quite popular right now, you can spend 75 euros a month and keep it until you want to invest more, you want to stop, or that once you make your mind open the ComfyUI and how it can fit with you. So I triggered the Shadow PC software right now, and I'm already connected. So if you're not connected, I'm gonna log out. If you're not connected, it will show you this screen. You click on login, it will redirect you to this page. And because I'm already logged in the web app, it presents me this page with a continue button. And basically, the continue button will log me in the app straight away. If I'm not logged in, then the Shadow website will require me to log in, and then we'll get back to that process. Clicking on the continue button will open or reopen the software, log me in. So you can see I'm here on the top left. Um, Depending on your configuration, you might have to modify a little bit the settings. Settings can be accessed on the top right with the cog icon. In my case, which apparently is a bit specific, I need to activate the Shadow on IPv4 connection. So I'm going to do that now, and it will start again the Shadow PC, and it will fail. But that's, in my specific case, it's normal. Normally, you should see a full blue bar with start now. That I'm guessing it's 99% the case for everybody, but for myself, it's a bit different for some reason. So I'm gonna wait until the Shadow PC is accessible. If I try to connect straight away, in this case, it's gonna fail, and I will have to restart the process. There we go. So the software has finalized its initiation. Um, Normally, it is a blue button with continue or start your PC or something like that. In my case, it's off. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna click. It's gonna open Shadow PC. Let's go. There we go. Now we are inside the Shadow PC. As you can see, I've put the summary of this video in a browser. So I'm able to show you exactly the same thing as on my current computer. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see two navbars. One, which is the laptop navbar, where I am. The other one is the Shadow PC navbar. To know where I am, you can actually look for, let's say, the little mouse or the blender icon. Then if you see one of these two icons, you know that you're in the Shadow PC with me. So that's about it on how to access the Shadow PC with the Shadow Company. That's a great tool, and it allows me now to install the rest of the tools to start using ComfyUI in a nice way and without waiting too long for one picture. So let's get to the next level.
Summer breeze.
Now we have seen how to access the remote PC thanks to Shadow. We're gonna watch how we can install ComfyUI and what's the software required to do that. The first thing you need is obviously ComfyUI. For the sake of simplicity, maybe I will use the portable version of ComfyUI. So you need to access the Comfy anonymous repository called ComfyUI. I will put the link in the description. Once you've reached that page, you can go down, and after the first picture, you will see installing Comfy. You can click on it. It will bring you straight to the installation process. And for Windows people, yeah, this video will be oriented for Windows people. Um, you can find the direct link to download. This is uh, a link that will download a zip file. Inside this zip file, once you have extracted the contents, you will have on your computer a directory which is called ComfyUI Windows Portable, and inside that ComfyUI Windows Portable, you will see the ComfyUI directory, which contains the ComfyUI application and a bunch of other files, the Python embedded, which allow us to execute ComfyUI, even if we don't have Python on the computer. Um, and then you have the run CPU bat and the run NVIDIA GPU bat, which are the two executable files. So if you double click on one of them, it will trigger the ComfyUI launch process. Because we are on NVIDIA computer with the RTX 6000 GPU, we're going to use the run NVIDIA GPU bat command line instead of the run CPU, and mostly because if you try to run ComfyUI with CPU, you won't go far very long. It might work with SD 1.5 modules, but from SDXL to especially with Flux, that might not be a good choice. Um, you could go that way, just double click run NVIDIA GPU bats. But that's not what we're gonna do. What we're going to do is to execute the launch process from an editor, and that editor is going to be VSCode. Why? I'm guessing because I have some developer background, and that's the way I do things. And mostly because once you start using ComfyUI, you might want to go forward. You might want to know how it works. You might want to set ComfyUI as you want, and that's what we're going to do together. So now let's see how we install VS Code.
Summer breeze.
So if you go to the code.visualstudio.com, you will find a button for download for Windows. By clicking on it, you will be you'll have the page, and then you can download the executable file to install VS Code. If it's not already installed on your computer, I won't do it because it's already installed on mine. Once the VS Code is installed, you can um, add to your workspace the folder you need. In this case, we need to add, so where's that? Add folder to workspace. You need to look for your ComfyUI Windows Portable and then add it. I already did it, so it's there. You can see it, and everything is inside of it. I did as well add my Code AI document from OneDrive to ease the process of moving specific files from the OneDrive to the remote PC and reverse. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Now I have access to the ComfyUI installation. I can click on Run NVIDIA GPU bat to see what's going on in that file. And that file is actually triggering a command line which which look for the Python executable file in the Python embedded directory, which is within the ComfyUI Windows Portable directory. You can find that here. This is nice because even if you don't have Python installed on your computer, you will be able to execute ComfyUI. However, in another video, I will explain to you why you want to install the conda env environment tool, which will allow you to isolate um, the Python environment and isolate ComfyUI from the rest of your computer to avoid conflicts. So that bat file is executing using Python to execute the main file of the ComfyUI directory. Once you pass the few first tests, once you have played a bit with ComfyUI, you might want to go deeper if you're kind of geeky or developer yourself. That's what happened to me, and I built my own other bat file um, with different parameter, and that you might need it depending on your computer settings. For the Shadow PC I'm using, I'm actually passing a certain number of parameter because even if the RTX 6000 is quite nice, once you are working with Flux, you're gonna have some trouble because Flux require lots of power. So you can fine tune a bit how ComfyUI behave in order to make your life easier, basically. What I do as well is using a multi-user configuration. So I'm able to have different users and profiles on one ComfyUI installation, which is practical. And as well, I use the port 80, which is not the default port. I believe the default port is 81, 80, 80 or something, it's 88 or something like that. But yeah, that's me. I want to run that on the port 80. So I'm going to trigger the execution of ComfyUI. As you might notice, my command line here is actually when you open the VSCode, you will probably be inside the ComfyUI Windows portable directory. And my default and initial command line is to go inside the ComfyUI directory, because when I trigger the execution of ComfyUI, I'm actually, sorry, I'm actually already inside the ComfyUI to be able to call main.py straight away. Anyway, I go inside the ComfyUI, I activate the Python environment that I've built for ComfyUI, and I trigger the bat file, which is that file. But I could use any other file like this, which is that file. It will work. It will work too, but with this specific configuration. Anyway, that's not what I'm looking for now, and let's go for it. So the process is gonna launch ComfyUI. Now, if we go to the Comfy installation, the Comfy app, when you load it, you will get the default workflow, which is that one. This one is actually a little bit modified to suit my needs, but roughly you're gonna have the same nodes. Now I'm gonna trigger the generation. It's gonna load the checkbox, read the prompt, generate the image, and save the image within the directory. And we do have our couple here, and that couple is within the output directory. Actually, it's the second one because I already ran that like a few minutes ago. So I'm going to delete the one that was not generated right now. I'm going to delete that as well. So this is the outputs. And that's about it. Now we're going to talk about the advantage of using OneDrive in the context of a remote PC.
Summer breeze.
Now, why is it important to use synchronizing software like OneDrive or any other that you prefer, you like? Simply because you're working on a remote PC. So everything you see here is not on my computer. It is not local. It is not in my phone. It is not in my computer. It is in the cloud. So let's say I finished my session. I've generated all my image, my awesome image, and I want to access that picture. If that picture is not somewhere I can access easily, then I won't be able to access it except if I connect to my PC. And I don't like that. I'm a lazy person. And as a lazy person, I like to do efficient thing. And one of the efficient thing I do with Comfy is to um, get my super nice generative AI image that I have created and put that in my cloud driver, which will automatically synchronize with all my devices. Um, in this case, I'm going to use that folder. It doesn't matter which one. Um, I went to the output of the ComfyUI software. I copy or cut the image and then go to the general folder or whatever, past it. And here we are in the remote PC, and you know that because we have the blender and the mouse icon down in the navbar. So now, if I leave my remote computer and go to my local computer or my smartphone, which is connected to OneDrive 2, or even if I'm on somebody, a friend or a family house, I can connect to their computer, and then I can connect to my OneDrive, my online cloud, and that allow me then to access my nice image, which should be by now synchronized on my local computer, and it is. The picture is gonna show in a couple of seconds. And here we go. Here's my super nice photo of a couple in Istanbul I can show to everybody. And more importantly, because usually if you use like system like OneDrive, it's a backup system as well. So you can have multiple backup, obviously. But that one is a centralized backup. So I do have that photo. And if for some reason I delete it, I can retrieve it back later using uh, the backup system from the tool. That's why I advise to install a synchronization tool like OneDrive. I use OneDrive mainly because I have a license and I have like so many software that are useful aside of Microsoft Office. For instance, all of my videos are made out of a Clipchamp, which is a video editor that comes with a license. So this video is not sponsored by anybody, but when I like something, I tend to talk about it, which is the case for OneDrive. I think we saw everything today. We went through the process of um, subscribing to Shadow PC to be able to access a remote PC with a nice GPU instead of spending straight away 1,500 euros. We talk about how to connect. We talk about VSCode. Um, we talk about ComfyUI itself, obviously, and about OneDrive. So I hope this is going to help you start straight away. 75 euros a month might seem a lot, but it is for only 75 euro a month that you can test ComfyUI in the right setup. And afterwards, you can decide to keep going with that or not. Um, I'm under Shadow for like since last December, I think. Um, so 10 months later, I'm about 750 euros spending, and I don't regret it. I will probably continue to keep a cloud PC as long as I can, because aside of having a nice GPU, I have something that I can access from anywhere. So if I'm on holiday, I'm with a friend or in a cyber coffee or whatever, and suddenly have the urge to access the ComfyUI for some reason, whatever the reason is, I can do that from anywhere. And it's still a computer, it's still a Windows, so I can do whatever I want with it. I mainly use it for that purpose, but I could use it for writing on Microsoft Word or I don't know, coding or stuff like that. So definitely worth it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. It helped a lot. I hope it will help you start, as I said, and see you in the next video.